Hey everyone, I am Lansafate Elkilnet, Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies from Norsu Shaton. Today we are going to talk about contemporary of philosophies, the Perennialism. The contemporary of philosophy of education is a set of statements that identifies and clarifies the beliefs, values, and understandings of an individual or group with respect to education. It should also serve to inspire and direct educational planning, programs, and processes in any given setting. These educational philosophical approaches are currently used in classrooms. They are perennialism, essentialism, existentialism, progressivism, and social reconstructionism. These educational philosophies focus heavily on what we should teach and the curriculum aspect. It is critical to comprehend the relationship between philosophy and education. To be the most effective teacher you can be, you must first understand your own beliefs while also empathizing with others. We will look at the study of philosophy, the major branches of philosophy, and the major philosophical schools of thought in education in this pre-recorded video. Creating your own educational philosophy is an important step on your path to becoming a teacher. In this video, we will discuss the perennialism that educators should be aware of in terms of educational philosophy. Philosophy permeates its influence on every aspect of education. It determines the aims, contents, methods of education. It defines the role of a teacher in the educational process. For the construction of curriculum, definite ideals, nature of the society, and civilization are to be kept in mind. The goal of education in perennialism is to ensure that students understand the great ideas of Western civilization. These concepts have the potential to solve problems in any time period. The emphasis is on teaching ideas that are eternal, on seeking enduring truths that are constant and do not change, just as the natural and human worlds do not change at their most fundamental level. It is critical to teach these unchanging principles. Humans are rational beings whose minds must be developed. As a result, intellectual development is the highest priority in a worthwhile education. Perennialists believe that education should center on ideas that have stood the test of time. They believe the ideas are still as relevant and meaningful today as they were when they were written. They advise students to learn by reading and analyzing the works of history's greatest thinkers and writers. Perennialist classrooms are also centered on teachers in order to accomplish these goals. The teachers are not concerned about the students' interests or experiences. They use tried and true teaching methods and techniques that are believed to be the most beneficial to disciplining students' minds. The perennialist curriculum is universal and is based on their view that all human beings possess the same essential nature. Perennialists believe that it is critical for people to think deeply, analytically, flexibly, and imaginatively. They emphasize that students should not be taught information that will be out of date or incorrect in the near future. Perennialists disapprove of teachers requiring students to absorb massive amounts of disconnected information. They recommend that schools spend more time teaching about concepts and explaining that meaningful to students. The only example I can think of would be a class about religion or history. The instructor would use religious books and historical documents. According to Adler, 1902 to 2001, who was an American philosopher and educator and a proponent of educational perennialism, he believed that one should teach the things that one deems to be perpetual importance. He proposed that one should teach principles, not facts, since details of facts change constantly. All works are those that are thought to be as important and relevant today as they were when they were written, and they are often referred to as books or the great books. Melville's Moby Dick, Shakespeare's Macbeth, Dickens' Great Expectations, and Dante's Inferno are all common examples. Perennialism is sometimes referred to as culturally conservative literature because it does not change gender stereotypes, incorporate multiculturalism, or expose and advocate technology in the way that contemporary literature would. Perennialist education aims to teach students to think rationally and to develop critical thinking skills. A perennialist classroom aims to be a well-organized and disciplined environment that fosters in students a lifelong quest for the truth. Perennialists believe that education should represent a concerted effort to make these ideas available to students and to guide their thought processes toward an understanding and appreciation of great works of literature written by history's greatest thinkers that transcend time and never become obsolete. Perennialists are primarily concerned with the significance of content mastery and the development of reasoning skills. The perennialist's perspective on education is summed up by the old adage, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Skills are still acquired in a sequential order. Reading, writing, speaking, and listening are examples of emphasized in the early grades to prepare students for later grades of literature, history, and philosophy. In other words, a teacher-centered philosophy that emphasizes the importance of transferring knowledge, information, and skills from the older generation to the younger one. Perennialism in education is the idea that school curricula should focus on what is everlasting. You can remember the word perennialism by remembering that perennial means lasting for many years. Perennialism is more in the classroom setting, preferably elementary pupils, wherein teachers need to engage more with their pupils. They need to read books to them and explain the content of it. But in our situation right now, where face-to-face is still not allowed, Perennialism happens when parents or the guardian will read books or guide their children or assessing them, or they assess them in their modules, for example. And that's it. I hope you gained knowledge about the perennialism or the contemporary of philosophies, and see you next time.